Morning ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another day of the video. Darren, how's it going today? Today, it's a very, very cold Thursday. There was frost everywhere today. I had to defrost my car, so I left 8 minutes later than normal. God damn it, I was also really awkwardly defrosting my car next to my next door neighbour who's defrosting his car. And like, we've never spoke to each other before, so that was awkward. But anyway, I've now made it into Bath. I'm not actually... Well, no, I probably am about 10 minutes later than normal. It's 5 to 8 now. I normally get here about 1:45, don't I? But though, look at the sun! Look at the beautiful weather! It is a lovely day. It is a really lovely day if it is really, really cold. I understand you probably can't see shit because of that backlighting, lol. Today, ladies and gentlemen, oh god, it's icy up here. We have a long day ahead of us. We have... God, these fucking seagulls, man. We have a long day ahead of us. I have a 9:15 lecture and then a lab at 5:15. I'm not even shitting you. That's my day. It's gonna be great. So I'm gonna be heading to the library now. I'm gonna go type up some lecture notes that I have before my 9:15 lecture, and then I'm gonna be leaving. I'm gonna be working solidly on my final year project, either in the lab or in a room which is available. That's my day. Yeah, I've got this lab tonight. I'm in this group. This is the group I'm in. But I could change group to a different group and go tomorrow. But this way, by staying all day today, A, I get a productive day on campus. B, I get tomorrow off. I have nothing in tomorrow, so I save petrol. So it's a small sacrifice to make. We'll see how productive I get. If I'm really not very productive today, I might consider changing. But you never know. Taking a sizable dent out of cryptography and entrepreneurship lecture note typing up in. Now we're heading to our first lecture. I'm still trying to time box typing up lecture notes to only the morning or in the evening when I'm chilling with Laura watching TV. So after this, it's programming time. Then, ladies and gentlemen, that lecture is now done and out of the way. I now have a horrendous gap until 5. I'm experimenting with this. I consider that it's probably better for me to come in, stay here and be productive until 5, do that last lab, then go home. I consider that to probably be better than kind of work till midday, leave, and then have to come back in tomorrow. I don't know though, we're going to see. But that lecture is out of the way, so lectures are done for the week. One more lab, and it's a case of focusing on programming. I'm in the new lab, because obviously, for obvious reasons, it's quite difficult to find a room that's free all day. So it's likely that I'm going to spend most of Thursdays either in the lab or in the other lab or in the library. So, but I might end up moving around. I might do like however many, a couple of hours in here, walk about, go and have lunch outside, come back, etc. Who knows? The only problem I have really is the biggest problem is having... Oh, it's a rocky table, isn't it? God damn it, table. Do they all rock? I want as solid as a rock. I'm going to swap them. I want to sit here because I want to use the power. One of the biggest problems you have with sitting in campus and working all day is being hungry. It's trying to stop yourself eating lunch too early. That's a really difficult thing to do. I'm going to swap these tables so I can use this plug while no one's around. LOL! It wasn't actually necessary. There's like a slant on the floor, so now it's moved, it's better. Otherwise though, I have saved myself like some podcasts I want to listen to and stuff like that. So I don't have to just listen to the same Spotify list on repeat all day. Thank Christ. Right, okay, let's put you onto brighter, and then we'll charge you, and then in theory I can move around later and I won't have to worry about a plug. See, hello ladies and gentlemen, it's 20 to 5 at the moment. I didn't leave that room all day, so I'm come out for some fresh air because Christ on a bike, I feel like I'm going to pass out. That room as well, I left a couple of times to get water and come back, and like there's quite a lot of people. It's quite busy, that room. No one sat at my table, but like all the computers were used at parts during the day. You come back in and you're like, ugh, it smells like a lot of people have been sat in this room for a long time, you know? Let me tell you what I've been up to today then, ladies and gentlemen, because it's been quite a lot. I've churned through a lot of code today, and I'm at a point where I'm not really sure whether I want to keep it all or not. Sit here in the freezing cold and look out on this shiny water and see if it'll give me the answer. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a big problem with the fact that my mutation module needs to be able to do things like build and run tests. Because everything's so separate, everything's interconnected to the main. So I either let the mutation module understand what's going on in main, what's going on in all the other modules, which it shouldn't be able to do in theory. Well, no, okay. So I spent a lot of time today making sure that no matter what happened, there would only be one of each controller. So I ended up putting in a factory that would only produce one of each. And that was to avoid having two controllers running on top of each other using the same process at the same time and all that kind of good stuff. And, well, yeah, it just reduces memory space. We'll say that. It reduces the amount of memory space that we have going on. So, yeah, so I've moved to that world now where I only ever produce one file handler and I only ever produce one build handler and all that kind of shit. I'm going to stop sitting here and talking to a camera. It looks like I'm just taking photos of myself or something weird. Let's have a walk around. So, here's the thing, yeah? The mutation project can't it can't contact main because main is contacting it, and I'm getting a circular dependency. And I didn't discover this, didn't consider that until I basically hooked everything up, which is a ball ache. Because one, I've done a lot of code today and it's likely I'm probably going to revert it all. But two, how do I do this? I need to move the mutation controller into main, in which case I don't necessarily want... I want mutation to be separate, if possible, in some way, shape or form. I don't want it to live in main. And I'm trying to understand why that is. Why do I want a completely separate skeleton? Why do I want the core of my program not to be its main function? Because at the moment the core of the program is literally just a case of it goes in and it calls something that calls get all the files, build them, test them. That's all it does. And then it will go, okay, now call this thing that's going to do all the mutations. And then the mutations will go, right, now I need to go and do all of this building and testing again, in which case go back to main and do this. I'm struggling to lay out all of the functions in a way which means that everyone's able to do what they want to do without being able to do more than they need to. And I don't know how to get around that, short of making the main the mutation part. Why am I so prejudiced against that idea? Why am I fighting so hard to stop doing that? I'm fighting so hard because I wanted the mutations to be completely separate. Why did I want the mutations to be completely separate in the first place? Because it's a logical extension of having everything else completely separate. You make that completely separate and just have a bare bones skeleton, and in theory you could get rid of the entire mutations core and put something else on it. But why? Why do that? Main needs to become mutation. So I think I've decided. Or well, there was my other thing. I could put things in the core. I could put in the core the ability to do builds and testing instead of main, because everything can reference core, but core can't reference everything else. That's why I couldn't do that. Oh, so you see, I think main just has to become mutation. I don't think I have an option about that. Proposition, I have a main control. Okay, so command line communicates with main. We'll keep that. Main then calls the startup controller, which is within main, and goes off and does everything that it needs to do. It then calls the mutation controller, which is in control of all of the mutation testing from that point onwards. It just makes sense for that to become mutation and to get rid of the idea of having mutation separately, even though it means the main project, which will be renamed, even though that means that's going to have all of the mutants in, which are going to be a lot, and it's going to have all the logic to build them. It's going to make that project, the main project, the biggest and most complicated project out of all of them. And is that something I want? Oh, I don't know. Fuck. So bloody difficult, isn't it? Software design, ladies and gentlemen, isn't it fun? Anyway, I am heading off now. I'm going to go to my lab. It's a cryptography lab, and we're going to be going over the problem sheet that I went through last week, which I've done, all of it, which was basically decode some ciphers. So I don't particularly know what's going to go on. It might be absolutely shit. If it is absolutely shit, I'm not going to be happy because I've been stuck on campus all day and I'm going to get home late. But that's life, innit? So. And I'm heading home, ladies and gentlemen. That was a really boring lab. Like, it's the problem of doing the problem sheets in a lab is like, yeah, you could potentially get help with the problem sheets, but A, I'd already done all the problem sheets in advance, and B, if I didn't know how to do them, I don't think watching him blitz through them in like thingy that quick is ever going to help. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see. Otherwise though, I drove back down with Andy, dropped him off at his flat because I drive past it. We're talking about projects and stuff. He's doing his obviously funnier project as well, and he's saying that like we were talking about whether or not we think we're going to be ready to demo it. I'm hoping I'm going to be ready to demo it. Like, the problem is getting this mutant thing. Like, all I need is one mutant to demo. Like, I've got a lot of stuff at the moment, but it doesn't really do anything. That's the problem. And it's basically a really, really fancy way of building some software. So I need to get this thingy through in order to actively be able to... Well, I can demo it regardless, but to show something worthwhile, I need to get at least one through, I think. So, well, I've got all day tomorrow to do it. Tonight I've got to sort out some car insurance stuff because my car insurance person's emailing me saying like, or ringing me as well, but I missed it because I was inside. Talking about they want a photocopy of counterparts and photo driving licenses, both. And then they want a copy of, for all drivers, not just me. Then they want my, a copy of my logbook for my car. Fucking hell. And proof of no claims. I understand proof of no claims, but Jesus Christ. It's going to be a bit of a bitch to try and organise all of that, but that's life, ladies and gentlemen. I am heading on home. I'm going to go meet Laura. I'm texting, meet Laura, see her at home. I'm going to text her, obviously, to... I text her when I'm like out of Bath, heading out of Bath. I'll okay Google, text Laura, I'm 30 minutes away, so that she can put dinner on. But we've got handbrakes on, Jamie, there we go. But we've got sweet and sour for dinner tonight. Yeah, I'm not at uni tomorrow, so I do have all day in tomorrow to churn out code and stuff. I just feel like today it's been one of them days where you spend a lot of time doing something, but you don't necessarily get anywhere because of what it was you were doing. I mean, it happens all the time. It's a standard developer thing. It's just irritating. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to get a mutant through though. I really don't. That's going to be really fucking unlikely. Right. Bedtime, innit, Graham? It's bedtime, ladies and gentlemen. Much has been done tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's part of the thing of... I don't feel quite so bad about having an evening off if I've spent all day on campus. So, tomorrow though, car insurance... mutations, rejig my mutation controllers again and other stuff, but otherwise we're at home all day, so I don't believe we've got any plans of going out either. So yeah, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Graham. Catch you later.